For years, one question has followed the Ford Bronco everywhere. Can you really trust the 2.7-liter EcoBoost? Some owners loved it, praising the power, the towing muscle, and the way it made the Bronco feel effortless on tough trails. Others watched their engines fail with shockingly low mileage on the odometer, sometimes just a few thousand miles after driving off the lot. Now, heading into 2027, Ford believes it has finally put that chapter behind it, but not in the way most people expected. Before we talk about what Ford changed, we first need to understand why those early engines failed, because the real cause wasn't what most people assumed. The second-generation 2.7-liter EcoBoost quickly became a favorite thanks to its impressive power, strong low-end torque, and excellent off-road performance. Move past the spec sheet for a moment, though, and the real story gets far more personal. No warning, no strange noises weeks beforehand. Just a brand new SUV that suddenly became undrivable. For a small group of owners, that nightmare became reality. Engines that quit with barely any miles on the clock, metal contamination inside after internal components broke down, and in the worst cases, full engine replacements under warranty. Investigators eventually discovered something rather unexpected. The engine design itself wasn't the main problem. The issue was much more specific than that. These failures traced back to particular manufacturing batches, not a flaw baked into the engine's core design, and only a small slice of Broncos were ever affected. That distinction matters because it meant Ford didn't need to throw out years of engineering work to fix what was actually going wrong. Ford responded by tightening its manufacturing process and swapping out the affected engines under warranty, working case by case with dealers to get owners back on the road as quickly as possible. So what did Ford actually change for 2027? And why did it take this long for those changes to show up in a production vehicle? Here's the twist. Ford didn't fix this engine by redesigning it. They fixed it by changing how it was built. The engine block stayed the same. The turbochargers stayed the same. Even the horsepower stayed the same. The biggest changes happened where most buyers never look: the production line itself. Ford attacked the problem from several angles. Assembly line inspections became stricter. Engine calibration evolved. Turbo management improved. Durability testing became tougher before engines ever reached production. The engine didn't change. The factory did. Modern engine development rarely means tearing up the blueprint and starting over. Automakers sharpen manufacturing precision, refine software, upgrade materials, and tighten assembly methods to stamp out weak points that only show up once an engine is being driven hard, towed with, and taken off pavement in ways no lab test can fully predict. It's a slower, quieter approach than launching a brand new powertrain with a press release attached, but it's often the approach that actually fixes what buyers cared about in the first place. Ironically, many of the biggest reliability improvements happened in places buyers will never see, and that's exactly why they're so important. Ford is sticking with the proven 2.7 for good reason. This twin-turbo V6 engine still runs twin turbochargers, a compact graphite iron block, direct fuel injection, dual overhead camshafts, and serious towing muscle. It remains one of the most advanced gas V6 engines Ford builds, and the mix of direct and port fuel injection helps keep carbon buildup down compared to older direct injection-only designs, a small detail that pays off in cleaner-running engines over a longer service life. Most people assume reliability comes from stronger parts. In reality, software now plays just as big a role. Modern powertrains lean heavily on tuning that controls fuel delivery, turbo boost, ignition timing, cooling behavior, and how the transmission responds. Software now protects engines as much as hardware does. For 2027, Ford kept refining these calibrations to smooth out the driving experience while easing unnecessary strain on the engine itself, adjusting things like boost ramp-up and shift timing so the engine spends less time under peak stress during everyday driving. The Bronco's 10-speed automatic picked up its own share of updates too, with owners noticing smoother shifts, better gear selection, and quicker responsiveness off-road, all without a single new part on the transmission itself. Because if you're spending $50,000 or $60,000 on a Bronco, confidence isn't optional. It's part of what you're paying for, right alongside the removable doors and the trail tech and everything else that makes this SUV feel special. None of this has touched what makes the Bronco special off-road either. The 2027 model still brings advanced four-wheel drive systems, electronic locking differentials, a full lineup of terrain drive modes, trail turn assist, trail control, a front stabilizer bar that disconnects on certain trims, generous ground clearance, and excellent approach and departure angles. Whether you're climbing rocks, crossing sand dunes, or grinding through mud on a weekend trip far from cell service, the Bronco remains one of the most capable off-roaders in its class. The problem wasn't the design at its core, it was consistency. The lessons Ford learned from those early issues are now used to tighten component consistency, hold tighter quality tolerances, refine how suppliers build parts, and cut down on manufacturing variation across the board. The kind of unglamorous, unseen work that rarely shows up in a commercial, but ends up mattering most over the life of the vehicle. That's the kind of change owners will likely never notice unless something goes wrong, which for most buyers is exactly the point. Of course, improvements only matter if they help the Bronco compete against everything else in the segment. And that's where things get interesting. The mid-size off-road SUV segment has gotten crowded, with rivals like the Jeep Wrangler, Toyota 4Runner, Land Rover Defender, Lexus GX, and even the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 Bison if you want a pickup alternative. Even against that competition, the Bronco holds its own through strong turbocharged power, a modern suspension, a comfortable highway ride, serious trail capability, a removable roof and doors, and some of the most advanced off-road tech in the class. That 2.7-liter EcoBoost is still one of the strongest gas engines you'll find in this segment, and now it comes with a much stronger story behind how it's actually built. Maintenance still matters more than most people ever want to admit, though, no matter how many fixes Ford rolls out over time. Owners need to stick to Ford's recommended service schedule. Regular oil changes with the correct oil grade, quality oil filters, cooling system checks, air filter replacement on schedule, staying on top of spark plugs, addressing warning lights right away, and getting software updates done at the dealership whenever they're available. Turbocharged engines especially depend on this kind of upkeep to reach their full lifespan, and skipping even one of these basics can undo a lot of the reliability work Ford has put into the platform over the past several years. The fixes were quiet because manufacturing improvements rarely make headlines. Ford hasn't announced a completely redesigned 2.7-liter EcoBoost for 2027, and there's been no sweeping announcement calling out one specific flaw. What's actually happened is the normal, ongoing process every automaker goes through: refining manufacturing, tightening quality control, updating software, and applying lessons learned from earlier production runs. The manufacturing issues that impacted a limited number of early engines led to real corrective action, and the 2.7-liter EcoBoost has grown into a mature, proven powertrain backed by strong performance numbers, continuous production improvements, and routine maintenance from owners who take that responsibility seriously. The same engine that once made some buyers nervous is now the engine Ford is confidently standing behind. A current model Bronco should offer buyers far more peace of mind than those very first examples did. And that peace of mind is really what most shoppers are chasing when they start digging into an engine's history before signing anything, especially on a vehicle they plan to keep for years and take somewhere far from a paved road. If you own a Bronco, or you're thinking about buying one, I'd love to hear your experience with it so far. Let everyone know in the comments below whether you'd trust the 2.7-liter EcoBoost today, and why. The early failures became headlines. The fixes happened quietly. That's usually how engineering works. Ford didn't need to reinvent the 2.7-liter EcoBoost. It needed to earn back trust, and that happens one improvement at a time, not with a single announcement or a redesigned badge on the fender. Whether this engine ultimately rewrites its reputation won't be decided by press releases. It'll be decided by the owners driving these Broncos for the next 100,000 miles, through the mud, the highway commutes, and everything in between.